Okay, good morning. Right, so remember a while back I was saying I need to do like a horror movie that's like Jaws and I can't even remember the name now. There's the Megalodon one, there's the Jaws one, there's the one with the giant alligator in the water. I can't remember the name of right now, but I absolutely loved it. I said it when I made the movie, when I made the video. I said the name of it, but um, I've been sitting here just, I'm being introspective at the moment because it's like I can't put into words. I genuinely can't put into words what it feels like to finally be seeing the fruits of my labour from the war that I've been fighting for over 10 years and dealing with people like Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump and Keir Starmer and all the rest of them. Watching it all happen how I said it was going to happen. Watching people. I was just watching a news article about all these lawyers in the White House that have quit their jobs because they're realising that they got themselves involved in things with Donald Trump that are so illegal, they fear going to prison for it. And some of them know that if they keep going the way they're going to end up in The Hague, which is beautiful because it's everything I said, right? So I'm sitting here watching like my handiwork of my physics when God instructed me to do what I had to do, and I followed to the letter of universal law everything He told me to do, everything my ancestors and loved ones told me in my dreams, everything that my physics conjured, everything that my investigations into, like the Delphi murders and that, it's all molded and shaped me who I am. And because then I get to use that as inspiration for everything that I'm creating in my movies and books and video games. And there's always some aspect of my real life and everything that I create. And I take inspiration from everybody that I engage in, good or bad, and turn them into ideas and characters and all of that for everything that I'm creating in the future when I build my foundation. So after my last live, after everything that's happened over the last few days, pretty much since I did the Delphi murder investigation, I'm sitting back watching it all, and it's like, not only was I right the whole time, who's been by my side, I was right, who's been helping me, I was right, and it can't be explained away as a mental illness or, me having an overactive imagination, because as a scientist, I make sure that everything I say is backed by facts. Because I always knew when the day came, because of how my teacher prepared me back in the 90s, that when the day came when I'd have to defend myself, I would have to do it in a court of law. Therefore, make sure that what I present is based on facts and evidence. No lying, no exaggerations, no hyperbole, just facts and evidence, which is what I've been doing. And she made sure that I stood in my truth, that it didn't matter what I was threatened with. Don't back down and keep telling the truth, because it would pay off eventually. Eventually, the world was going to see exactly what you were talking about. And then all of those who were responsible for what happened to you will be held accountable, not only by God and a court of law, but by the world as well, because then the whole world would start turning on the people who did that to me, because then the people will know who I am, and what I was sent here for. So everybody who came after me would be now finally seen as the bad guys. And that's exactly what's happening. And I'm watching it all. And so I'm sitting here thinking, my fight with Donald Trump, my fight to expose Donald Trump, how I was one of the ones that he tricked into thinking he was a good guy, and then me going to God and yelling at God and saying to God, I humiliated myself because I defended this man. And he said, you were the trap, you were the bait. He was watching you, and we had to let him think he was going to get away with everything he did because he had to be exposed. And by exposing Donald Trump, it was going to expose everybody else who's been helping him behind the scenes, like Tony Blair, Keir Starmer, Zelensky, the EU, all of them. All of them. When I realised after investigating those plane crashes last year that he was the bad guy, and that not only was he the bad guy, but he was marked in the Bible as Lucifer, and that the Gog and Magog were all the people that were secretly helping him behind closed doors to attack Russia and Iran and all that. When I realised who I was dealing with, that's when I understood the magnitude of the situation I'd been put in, and then suddenly everything my teacher had warned me about with the ancient prophecy, and that made sense. So I was no longer afraid to speak my truth, because I then, when I saw the evidence for myself as a scientist, that my physics, that quantum magnetics, that everything I'd been saying had a purpose to it that was going to benefit mankind, that's when I let my guards down and just put it all out there. The plane crashes and the Epstein stuff, and the connections with Nazis, and I just put it all out there. Living under constant threat of being kicked out of my home, killed, having my money taken from me, my freedom, my liberation, all of it, being ripped away from my boys, all of it. I did it knowing I was going to lose. I could see the signs that I was starting to lose my boys, but the same with Putin and the king, I could see the signs that they were doubling down on trying to punish me. Then, all the shit they tried to carry out with my phone, with money disappearing from my bank. And I braced myself, and I took the swords to the back, and I just hung on and just kept focusing on God and my ancestors, who were dragging me up that mountain that I'm trying to move to get to where I need to build my school, in faith that nothing they were going to put me through, nothing they were going to put the world through was going to last forever, that everything comes to an end eventually, and these people have ruled for over 1,000 years now. Biblically, over 2,000 years, but like Trump personally, over 1,000 years, because of the way that his family set the lineage up and all that sort of thing, like over 1,000 years. And now their reign of terror is coming to an end. And it's in no small part of me whistleblowing and forcing the issue and breaking through the soil, breaking through the concrete that they tried to put over my life, in order to, because I'm thinking of Wally. Remember that one little plant? Broke up out of the concrete, and now people are getting hope again. And the fact that Trump's losing lawyers and he's losing supporters and all that sort of thing, I'm watching the concrete break apart. And it's because of the message is getting through. Because I know so many people watch me in the shadows, and I know that word is spreading, and I know people are talking about me in rooms I'm never going to enter, and I keep doing it. And I know some people want me dead. I know some people want me dead, but I know for the most part people are either afraid of me or they're secretly proud of me, because they can see the issue I've been pushing since my blog days is finally starting to break ground, and people are finally starting to see where I was at. And for the support that I gave Trump, not knowing that God had made me the bait, I'm making up for that by now being the reason why he's going to lose everything. Because I'm an alchemist. And so I'm using all the full forces of the supernatural laws of the universe in order to bring him and his cult down. And I'm seeing the results of it. It's like you're watching everything fall in slow motion, because God wants everyone to take it all in and remember the last couple of years, so that people like Starmer and von der Leyen and Zelensky and Musk and Trump and Thale and all that never, ever, ever, ever have the positions of power that they have ever again. People like them can never, ever happen again. So take it all in and remember this pain, remember the suffering, because it's going to birth a new world. We get to burn it all down and start again because of what we're witnessing now. Because finally, we didn't get it right the first time with World War One. We didn't get it right the second time. God's not going to allow a third. How many Jews have to die? How many Muslims have to die? How many Christians have to die? How many people have to be blamed for the sins of a handful who have just been dripping their poison down through the generations of their children and their grandchildren? And then that's when it hit me. I'm going to try not to get emotional. The horror movie, remember I said I needed to do a horror movie based on like something lurking in the water. And I know it's not technically lurking in the water, but just bear with me, because it is a horror movie and it's fictitious, but it's inspirational. Remember the Amazonian golden poison frog? Colombia, mostly, I think it's Colombia. I've put links in the description box. And it's deadly, it's toxic. Its skin secretes a poison that they use for, the Amazonians and that use for poison darts. And they come in most colours, but they're golden or they're orange, and they have black mouths. And I thought, holy flip-flop, Batman, Donald Trump. Because he loves everything gold, because, you know, he's a worshipper of Baal. And Baal is anything gold, anything to do with gold, right? But it has a black mouth, just like Donald Trump now. His lips are going black. And he's poisonous, and he's toxic. And he kills everything he touches. He's toxic and poisonous to everything he touches. But the poison is also the antidote. So I've taken everything that he's turned toxic, and I'm turning it into what is going to be the antidote for everyone. The antidote being the cure. And then it reminded me of that Paul Simon song, Senorita with a Necklace of Tears. I've put a link in. It's a beautiful song. And if you look at the words, it's actually quite poignant about how he has a friend who finds God, which is what happened to me. And that's what I thought, like, he tried to poison me, and I've turned that poison into the antidote that's going to save the world. It's basically like a morphine. It becomes like a painkiller. And so what he tried to poison me with, I'm turning, as the alchemist, into the antidote to cure the world from the pain that the frog itself has caused. So I'm not going to have a shark or an alligator or anything like that in my Water Beasty movie. It's going to be like a big massive frog, a big golden frog. And I'll write it into the story that it's some sort of mutant thing that, you know, and that it spits poison. It will spit, or it will, you know, like secrete it'll like spit from its body, and will be like acid in that eats away. I mean, it's going to be fantastic cinemagraphically. It's going to look awesome on camera, and great for like special effects and all that to do it. But this frog is going to be based on Donald Trump. I'm going to make it have some kind of resemblance to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the inspiration for this poisonous frog in my Water Beasty movie. So it's Senorita with a necklace of tears. Because all the tears that I cried because of everything he spat at me in order to try and poison my life and kill off everything that I loved. I've alchemized it to become the antidote for the rest of the world. Kind of like Vladimir Putin's vaccine. So I wear my necklace with pride. My necklace of tears, I wear it with pride. Because each tear that I've cried is the antidote for somebody else to be cured from the toxicity of Donald Trump and his poison and his army of frogs going around poisoning everyone. I'm turning that poison into the antidote. And so that's what my horror movie's going to be. It's going to be a frog. He poisons everything he touches, just like everyone in his cult. They poison everything they touch. But that poison was handy, because he even says, I was born before my father and my children before me. Meaning like what he is, it's generational. And because his father was in the KKK and his grandfather was a Nazi and blah 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 and blah blah blah, all of that. And his children are toxic. And his grandchildren will be toxic, because you are what you eat. You are what you grow up around. So that poison is passed down from generation to generation. They are the epitome of a generational curse. They will become the most hated people in the world, just like Hitler was, just like Goebbels and all of that. Himmler, their names like Starmer and Trump and von der Leyen, and that will be synonymous with the other Nazis of World War II and that. So without them being exposed, nobody would be cured, and the only way they could be exposed is if somebody exposed them, and that was me. I've exposed everyone from Donald Trump to Keir Starmer to Tony Blair to George Soros to von der Leyen to Elon Musk to Christopher Black to Martin Arche, to all of them. Like I've exposed all of them. And their Rocio and their toxic traits, and I'm desperately trying to save my boys to get them away from it, so that they don't become toxic too. Because there's still so much goodness in my boys. It's not too late to save them. But I couldn't have saved anyone. I couldn't have done what I done if they hadn't have tried to poison me first. So it's that Paul Simon song, Senorita with a necklace of tears. The poison has become the antidote. And so I wear my necklace of tears with pride, because each tear is a vial full of the antidote that's going to help save America and humanity. So in turn, that's my horror movie. It's going to be a poisonous frog. But it's going to be a big one. Like it's going to be quite big. It'll be one that, escaped from a laboratory or something like that and lives in the waters by the camp of the foundation. I'm hoping that when I build my foundation, not only does it have a lot of land with a forest, but it has maybe like a small lake or something on it or beside it, and then we can film it there, all on location. I know there's a couple of places that I had my eye on in Canada and Russia that were like that, but I don't know. I don't know yet, but yeah, turning the poison into the antidote. That's exactly what I've done. I don't have a name for it yet, for the movie I mean, but it is going to be based on the poison dart frog, the golden dart frog. My Mesoamerican ancestors aren't Colombian. We're Peruvian and Chilean. We're from around like Peru and Chile and all that, so that's where we were before we got on our boats and found Rapa Nui or Easter Island, and then became like Māori. We were Peruvian and Chilean, and also Ecuadorian, I think, and then obviously First Nations. But I don't know what tribe First Nations. I can only trace it back as far as Ecuador, Peru, Chile, Hawaii, Rapa Nui, all those ones. So my people are Tainui. We're the first footers of New Zealand. Our waka, the Tainui. It's the one that everybody knows in New Zealand. And that's my people. We came from Africa. And we navigated using the stars. That's why we're star people. We came from Africa and we navigated our way through the Middle East, through Asia, through the Americas, down through Central and South America, and over through to, some came down through Asia and Japan and that into New Zealand, and some came to, some went to Asia and Japan, and then some, stayed in New Zealand. Some went back to Rapa Nui and all those, the Pacific Islands and that. But yeah, the mighty people, my people, came from Africa. And we traversed the globe in nothing but a waka, a boat, and on foot. And we colonised the world that we know today. That's why when you trace the DNA of Māori people, you see we've got Jewish in us, we got Greek in us, we've got Roman in us, we've got Chinese in us, we've got Taiwanese in us, we've got Egyptian. I'm double Jewish, I'm double Indigenous, I'm double African. Two of everything. Because not only my dad's side, but my mum's. Because my dad's side were from Yemen and that, and they were Jewish. They were originally Jewish before they converted to Islam. So I'm double everything. I'm two of everything. Because of my mum and my dad. And so that's why I'm choosing the frog. Because as an alchemist, as taught to me by my ancestors on both my mum and my dad's side, I'm alchemising the poison. And because remember, they literally did try to poison me 4 times. Poisoned weed, poisoned my food, force-fed medication. Like, they tried to poison me 4 times. And I turned that poison into the antidote that's going to save the world. So that's why I've chosen the poison, the golden poison dart frog of Colombia, of the Amazon. So That's when we'll have to use our CGI. But anyway, so there you go. So I proudly wear my necklace of tears. So I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō.